Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. In today's video, I'm going to be redoing my guinea pig room completely. So right now I am in my rabbit room, and basically I'm going to be moving my guinea pigs into this room, moving my rabbits into the room that my guinea pigs are in. So I'm doing like a full swap, and in today's video it's going to be about the guinea pig room. So let me show you guys the space that we have in here. So this is my rabbit room right now. As you can see, it's very messy. I have to do a lot of cleaning, but it's about, I wanna say 11 feet by 14 feet. Then we have the closet, and I wanna move my guinea pigs in here so I can have the sunlight in here, and because I only have 2 cages now, so I think it'll work better in this room, and then I can move my rabbits into the larger room where they can have more room to free roam. So I have to fully clean out everything in here. I'm gonna like scrub the floors, and I'm gonna redo some of the wall decorations and move the cages in here. So it's gonna be a lot of work. I don't know if it's gonna get done today. One can hope, but yeah, it's a big project, but I'm excited. I always love to redo my pet setups. So I'm excited to have the guinea pigs in here and have the sunlight. They don't have any sun in the other room, and I miss it. So I'm super excited, and I don't really know where to start. Probably just with cleaning. I'm a little overwhelmed, but let's just start. All right, everyone, so we have just mopped the floor, and now I'm actually going to scrub the baseboards. So there is like a lot of dust and like just hay, whatever, on the baseboard. So I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna scrub it with my rescue solution. So we used rescue cleaning solution to mop the floors, and then I'm also gonna use it to scrub all the baseboards. And then it'll be time to decorate. So I'm gonna change up the wall decorations and then move the pigs in here. It's coming along pretty quickly, I would say. Like, I actually thought this was gonna take me a lot longer than it has been. So yeah, I'm gonna scrub the baseboards and then on to the exciting part of decorating. This is what we have so far. I am loving this little section so much. I've actually had this Autumn's Piggies wooden cutout I got from Etsy since like a year ago when I did my last room renovation, but I never hung it up. So I think it looks really cute right here next to all of my memorial frames. I do still need to order a memorial frame for Waffles, who passed away, and I think I'm gonna probably put his maybe on this side and then add a little decor going up right here. I'm not sure yet, but I do have to order that so that I can hang his up with everybody else's. But I thought this looks really cute, like a little spotlight in the middle of the wall. And then I have all of my name tags over here, and I did like super glue this down, so it's not going anywhere. It's not gonna fall on the pigs. It's literally super glued. Both of these are glued down. And then I did my rainbow film on my window with my curtains. And then I kind of zip tied those back. It's not the most attractive thing, but the cage is gonna cover it up, so it's fine. And then this is just some decor that I already had in the room. This was already in the room too. I just moved it around, and then these were already in the room as well. They're like little butterfly fairy lights, but it looks really nice. I'm loving the vibe, the lighting. I'm so glad they will have some sun. I am just thinking when I add in the cages, like my thought was that I would have my L cage like this, and then my other cage right here, and just never open that door and only open this one. But I'm thinking it's gonna be so crowded to have it like that. Like I feel like the room looks so nice and open right now, and as soon as I add that in, it's gonna get crowded, but I don't really have another option unless I make the cages smaller, and I don't necessarily want to do that. So I'm gonna put them in here and see how I feel about it, and then we'll go from there. But I also wanna hang up some fairy lights or some sort of lights somewhere else, but I don't know what yet. My other ones have actually broken that are in my other room, so I can't move them to here. And then I feel like it needs a little bit more. I don't want to go too much, like too maximalist. Like I feel like right now I got kind of a happy medium, but I do want to have some lights for at night, so it's not just like bright light or nothing. So I'm gonna go to the store and try and find something. I don't know what yet, but I definitely want to hang them up before I get the cages in here, because once the cages are in here, I will not be able to like reach the walls or anything to hang anything else. So I need to have it all up on the walls first. So I'm gonna go to the store. Hopefully I can find something, and then we'll be finished decorating finally. So I actually ended up just ordering some lights off of Amazon. I went out and tried to find some that I liked, but I couldn't. So I just got these ones online and did next day shipping. So I have them all around this shelf and then all around my window. I decided not to do them from the ceiling or anything, just because I felt like it might get too overwhelming and too much decoration, and that's what I wanted to avoid. So now that the lights are up and my walls are pretty much done, it's time to move the cages in. So let me show you how I plan to do that. It's just in the room right across the hall, so it's not very far across the house, but it will be hard to fit the cages through the doorway. This is the herd's cage right now. This room is an absolute mess, and it's also really dark because I took all the lamps out of here, but this is the herd's cage. We're gonna move this one first, I think, since it's bigger and closer to the door. So my plan is to take off this top layer of grids, so it'll only be 2 feet tall instead of 3 feet tall. We'll take out the coroplast as well, and then we're gonna turn it on its side and hopefully just scoot it out the door. I'm not sure how well it's going to work, but I want to try and keep as much of it intact as possible so I don't have to do too much reconstruction in the new room. So they are due for a cage clean, which is why this is a good time to do this. So I'm gonna get everybody out of here, take everything out, take off these top layer of grids, and then try and fit it through my door. Wish me luck. It looks a lot bigger in this room than it did in the other one. It looks huge in here. I mean, it is 9 feet long, and then this is 6 feet, so it's pretty large. I think fitting the wire grids in here is gonna be really hard. They have to go right about where I'm standing, like the corner that I'm filming out of. And that's like blocking the door, and I'm scared to drag this thing in here, but I feel like I've got it. It's just right across the hall, standing up vertical right now, and I'm just gonna try and straight to the doors, and then flip it over here. That wasn't too bad. I think the hardest part was getting it in position in the other room. So now I'm gonna flip it back the way I would want it to be, and then add the third layer back on top, and then add my coroplast, which is sitting just right here. So here's my coroplast and here's the cage. We've gotta put these two together, put them in their place, and then get the other one in here. So I'm gonna try and flip this over. Hopefully I have enough room. I didn't really think about that. Some of the grids have come undone because the third layer was what was holding them together, the zip ties. So I have to reattach all those. Okay. All right, it looks crazy in here. I gotta show you guys. Here it is. You can see the L. It's just gonna go back against that wall, but it looks huge in this room. I was used to the other room, and this cage looks ginormous. And I think I have to put another one in here too. I know it'll fit, like I've done the math, but it's gonna be really tight. I was really hoping we'd have a bit more room over there between the two cages, but I think that's maybe like 6 to 8 inches of space right there. Also, I'm sweating so bad. It is late at night, but I want to get this done. I want to get the other pigs in here, and then tomorrow I will like finish setting it up. Not really sure what that entails, considering like that's the floor space. I just got so spoiled having them in the big room that I forgot what it was like to have them in a smaller room. I do think this is good though. I could potentially make this cage smaller. My two pigs do not need a 3x7. They would be fine like a 3x4, 3x5, 3x6, even a 3x3. I could do. I like giving them this much space, but honestly, I've thought about it and it almost seems like more work to take apart these grids to make it a 3x5. That's probably the size I would end up doing. It almost seems like more work to remove these 6 here, and then I don't know what, I don't need this beam anymore, and I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna think about it for a little bit longer. I'm gonna take a break and think about it. I don't know if I wanna cut down this to a 3x5. The advantage would be that like walking in here, you'd actually have some space to kind of walk in, but then the majority of their cage would be back in that corner. I mean, it's already gonna be hard to clean, but then like basically the whole thing is back in that corner. So I don't know. I'm gonna think about it, take a break, and then I'll decide if I want to keep it the full size or not. All right, guys, so as you can see, I have shortened the 3x5 or the 3x7 to be a 3x5 for cinnamon and pumpkin. I already had coroplast that would fit this, so I just thought it made sense in the smaller room. They don't need 21 square feet. 15 square feet for two is perfectly fine. So this will be their cage, but I'm thinking about it, and I think I want to move my L to like the opposite side and then switch this to over here. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I think it's gonna make it a little bit better with the weird gapping that was over here. So I'm gonna try and move all that around and then put them in the cage, and then we can be done. I just feel like I'm not 100% pleased with it, and I wanna see if it looks better if I like swap them around. I don't even know where to put the camera to film what I'm trying to do right now, because everything is like moving in a full circle. So I'm gonna try and do this, and then I'll show you guys if it works, because this, like, it's like a traffic jam in here. All right, so as you can see, I actually put it back because for some reason I forgot that if I'm trying to like take it and rotate it, and this is the same length as this wall, like it's gonna get stuck at the diagonal. Like I can't keep rotating it, and I don't know why that didn't occur to me, but I like got it stuck in the diagonal, and then I realized if I wanted to fully change the L, I would either have to like turn it vertical or take it apart, and since the pigs are already in it, I didn't want to do either of those things. So I'm gonna leave it as it is. Who's screaming? I'm gonna leave it as it is. I don't know if it would work better the other way, but I would have to take them out and flip it up and do a bunch of crazy stuff, and I just got it set up. So I'm gonna leave it like this. Maybe in the future I'll swap them or redo them or something, but for now, I'm gonna leave it like that because that was a disaster. The room looked crazy, and I think this is just gonna have to work. It's a smaller space, and I'm just not used to that, but it will benefit my rabbits to have the large room since they're free roam, and the guinea pigs get pretty much the same amount of space. And here, it's just less space for me to navigate. So I'm gonna move this cage to its final resting place and then put the pigs in it and then shower, because I really need to. I want to switch the L. I think I'm just gonna put them in here, not really film it, just get the pigs in here, and then maybe tomorrow I'll like somehow deconstruct stuff and flip the L, because I just feel like it would look better, but I don't have the energy to do it tonight. So I'll just get them in here, and then maybe tomorrow, I don't know, I will let you guys know tomorrow if I decide to take on that endeavor. It might be a lot, but I just feel like this isn't, I don't like it. I don't like it, and I want to change it. All right, everyone, so it has been many weeks actually since I last filmed, but I have redesigned the room. I have moved the cages around. I was not able to film it because it was such a hassle. I don't even think I could have like fit my tripod in the room. Everything was shuffled around. It was pure chaos, but I swapped the cages and everything's how I like it. So let's go ahead and do the tour. All right, this is what you see when you walk in. First of all, the rainbows. I love it. I am so happy to have my window back, to have it casting rainbows everywhere. I mean, look at this. It is like 6 p.m. right now, and you can see we're still getting sunlight. We're still getting rainbows, and they kind of move across the cages as the day goes on. But honestly, I miss the window. I miss the sun, and I'm so happy to have my piggies back in such a bright room. So as you can see, I did swap the cages. So I had to take apart this L and then move it and then rebuild it. So this is the cage for my herd of 5. So we have Rocket, Pepper, Peanut Sage, and of course, Miss Marshmallow. And as you can see, the cage doesn't reach all the way to the end of the wall. It's not large enough for a whole nother grid. It's like it could, like I can like squeeze back there if I need to reach something, and that's about it. So I thought about maybe sort of creating some sort of wooden ledge here that like goes back and then down, and then I can store stuff on top, and that'll kind of create the illusion that the cage is the whole length of the wall. Because I'm not gonna lie, looking at that gap deeply upsets me. It just, the symmetry is not there, but I know I can't fit a whole new grid. I didn't want to have to do any more construction to this cage than I already did. So I left it like this for now. And then I did include a gap here so that I can reach this back corner to clean more easily. I could have reached it if I had them like meshed, but honestly, when I moved the mesh, the gap looked even weirder. So I left a gap here as well so that I can change this water bottle and I can get back here to clean. So this is my cage for my herd of 5. I just spot cleaned, not that you can tell someone has already made it dirty, but it looks so great. Obviously, it's the same size cage they had before, but something about the sun and moving the litter boxes over here, they used to be over there. I feel like it makes it much nicer. There's like a hay area, and then everything else is just like lounging, and it looks so pretty. So yes, I'm absolutely loving it in this room. And of course, we have all of my wall decor. This candle here, guys, it is just for decoration. I would never light it. Do not worry. I also like Velcroed, or I think I even super glued some of this stuff down to the shelves so that nothing would fall off into the cages. So like that plant is literally super glued onto that shelf, and it's not going anywhere. And then I have all of my signs with all of the piggies on them. So this is all of my current and past pigs. And then my window, my fairy lights. I went a bit simpler with the fairy lights this time. I just have them around the window and around my shelf. And then of course I have like this has butterflies on it. And I have this over top of their cage. But over on this wall, we have my memorial wall above Pumpkin and Cinnamon's cage. So this cage is a 5x3. Their old cage was a 7x3. I had originally built that for a trio, but it ended up just being the 2 of them. So honestly, downsizing to a 5x2, I mean, that's perfectly fine for them. They still have plenty of space to run around. It's about 15 square feet for them both. This is Cinnamon. Pumpkin is, well, she was hiding in there. She's my most skittish one, but this is what their cage looks like right now. And then my memorials, as I said, we have Honey, Stardust, and Boba. I do have to add my frame for Waffles still. I know, guys. I need to get him up on the wall with everybody else. I feel so bad not having him up there already. But I looked in the Etsy shop that used to make my frames. It's out of business. They don't make them anymore. So I have to find frames that look very similar to this, or else I think just like visually I'll be upset. So I have to find a different company to get my frames because they don't no longer make them. But I have been using these frames for all my memorial frames. What do you guys think of the new room? What do you think? I want to boop his little crest. I don't think he's gonna let me. And then underneath the cages, I have my dirty laundry right now, just in some piles. I have a carrier, their pellets, and then back there is their bedding. I haven't moved everything in there. A lot of the stuff is still in the other room, which is why it looks like I have very little guinea pig supplies. That is not true. It's just like literally stacked up in the other room still, because that is next on my to-do list, is to set up the bigger room for my bunnies and my office. And this is their hay over here, just giant oxbow box of hay. And then with the placement of the cage, I did have to leave this closet door permanently open, I would have had to push the cage back like more that way to get this to open and close. But honestly, I don't mind it. I have it this way for my rabbits and it doesn't bother me visually at all. It allowed me to kind of put my air purifier here, my lamp here, and then in the closet itself, I have my shop vac. And then this is where I'm going to store all of my fleece. Like I said, a lot of it is still in the other room, but I'm going to stack it up here as well as anything else that I might need. I might put carriers up top for now. There's some old stuff from the bunny room up there, but this is really all the space I need. I'm really trying to downsize all of my guinea pig stuff. I have so much and I do not need that much. So hopefully with a smaller closet, it will encourage me to sort of downsize everything I have so that it can fit in here. What do you guys think? You look so cute eating. Everybody seems to be loving the sunlight, or maybe it's just me. Maybe I just love the sunlight and I'm like projecting it onto the pigs that they all love it as much as I do. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I am so excited to have my new guinea pig room. Just to have the light changes everything. I swear it makes it feel so much brighter and happier in here. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed the new room. I do want to add the rug back, but I feel like there's not quite enough space and it's going to get covered in hay, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet, but this is what I have for now. Look at the rainbows. I love it so much. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like if you enjoyed and subscribe to see more of my videos. I will be back very soon with another video about my new bunny room, so thank you all for watching. Bye!